Version 2, question 4. We're asked to sketch and label a graph. We're using the same x and y axis as the data sheet, so that means this is going to go from 0 up to 64 and up to 64. And we're asked to show where the curves cross the edge of the square. So if we delete that and we plug in our equation, x minus 32 to the power of 3 plus 32. Okay, we need to change our view window so that that goes up to 64 and that also goes up to 64. So what we're going to need to find out here is the root. So when x is 0.25, y is 0. So that's going to go through a point there, which is 0.25. And we also need to find out the value when when y is 64, because that will tell us what our maximum is there, and that's a chord. So that point there where it will cross is at 63.75. Okay. So if I stick the line of y equals x in, okay, so what we have is a graph that goes through our midpoint and then comes back up here. And that graph is going to be called curve A. So we've marked on the points where it crosses the graph. Okay, we now need to show that it can be rearranged. So this is really similar to what it shows us on the data sheet. So we've got the inverse is going to be x equals 0.1 y minus 32 cubed plus 32. So to get the inverse of this, you just start off by swapping the x and y over. So if we move the 32, then we've got x minus 32 is 0.1 y minus 32 all cubed. So we can then cube root it, and if we cube root it, then we'll end up with 0.1 y minus 32. We can then divide both sides by 0.1. And that will just give us y is minus 32. And from there, we're going to have to add that 32 back on. So we end up with y equals the cube root of x minus 32 divided by 0.1 plus 32, which luckily is what we were asked to show. Sketch and label this graph. Now, because it's the inverse, it's going to go through, it's going to be a reflection in this line. So that is going to be at 0.25. That is going to cross at 63.75. And you'll also have a point where it crosses in the middle. So this graph will look like the reflection. It will cross at 32, 32. And you can get that from your calculator by asking it where the points of intersection are. There will be 3 of them. There'll be a point down here, and that point is at 0.377, 0.377, because it crosses on the line of reflection. And the point here where it crosses is at 63.6, 63.6. And just making sure that we have also labelled that as curve B.